I'm going to be completely honest with you and say that I wasn't really expecting to make a video about these new wireless remotes from Shelly. They're pretty cool and all, but they're wireless remotes with buttons, you know, you've probably seen similar products before. So I didn't really have much to speak about and I didn't really have much value to add to the conversation at this point. But then I started actually using them a little bit and I realized that for me, these have one feature that symbolizes something a bit more important. Let me explain. So the Shelly Blu is a pretty neat little device. It's a completely wireless remote that you can use for automations, turning lights on, closing blinds, opening curtains, basically anything you want a quick on or off button for in a room. It runs on a single coin battery for up to 2 years, supports single, double, triple and long presses in your automations, making it quite versatile, and it's really small and compact. It actually reminds me of the Bluetooth tracker from Tile that you can attach to your keys or your wallet so you can find them easily, which is actually appropriate because unlike the wireless remote from Aqara, which is Zigbee, the Shelly Blu is, well, Bluetooth, meaning you can use it as a form of presence detection with something like ES Presence or ESP Home to track these as they move around your house. And because they are so small and lightweight, you can easily just slide these into your pocket and walk around with them or attach it to your keys so that you can track when you've arrived home. Now that's all great, this is a great little device, but it wasn't until I added it to Home Assistant that I realised that the Shelly Blu represents something much more important. As soon as I went into Home Assistant, the Shelly Blu popped up immediately to be added through the BT Home integration, which made me think, that's a little bit strange. BT Home is an open source format for Bluetooth devices, and this is a product from a well-known brand in the smart home space. That can't be right, can it? Sure enough, over on the Shelly website, BT Home is mentioned front and center as a selling point of the Blu, along with Home Assistant, and that in itself is pretty cool to see. However, on the BT Home website, it turns out that Shelly is actually sponsoring the BT Home project and purchased the unique ID from the Bluetooth organization, making it available for everyone to use in their devices for free. Man, seeing brands start to interact with open source projects is super cool. What the Shelly Blu represents then for me is a reminder of how important it is to keep supporting companies making good products and engaging with what the community actually wants, rather than just making the absolute cheapest devices possible and to hell with everything else. This isn't the first time we've seen this from Shelly, who do actually have a long history of this type of cool behaviour, like being able to install custom firmware on many of their devices, supporting local control, documenting their APIs, working with Home Assistant to add or fix integrations, and so on. None of this would have happened had they not seen such great success, with the community responding so positively to their original ethos. Unfortunately, a trend I see all too often is people only taking price into consideration when making purchases, and it's through no fault of their own. Smart home products can be a minefield to try and sift through the metric butt ton of bad devices out there. Take a look at Amazon, for example. There are hundreds of generic devices to choose from, and for the uninitiated, they're going to look at this and think, why would I pay £14 for a Shelly when I can pay £10 and get this one? Both are relays, both are Wi-Fi, both support Google Home and Amazon. I mean, they do the same thing, right? But much of this hardware is sold at cost price or even at a loss, so that the companies can harvest your private information and sell it, which is extremely valuable under the right circumstances. We need look no further than the recent news that Telly wants to give out free smart TVs. So long as you're okay with the TV having a microphone and camera always on and connected to the internet, live streaming the exotic moves you and your partner get up to on date night to a room full of peeping toms. And I'm not saying that price isn't important, it is. Someone could make the best robot vacuum there is out there with every feature, auto empty, refill, mops, fully local, Home Assistant integration, open source, but if it costs 10 grand, then no one will buy it. But it is worth spending a bit extra to buy hardware that you actually own and you can do what you want with. Hardware that does work locally, hardware that is good quality, hardware that will continue to work after a company shuts down, meaning you aren't left with a brick. ultimately costing you more in the long run. Voting with your wallet and supporting those who make things that are important to you is so critical. Otherwise, we risk ending up with a sea of devices that are all the exact same, only competing on price and who can cut the most corners. And unfortunately, Matter may only make this worse if and when it comes to fruition. There are definitely others out there making good products too, however, like Atom, who makes devices that come with ESP Home or Tasmota for local control, or Sonoff, who similar to Shelly makes it really easy to flash your own firmware on their devices. They don't try to hide information or intentionally go out their way to make things difficult, they actually embrace it. And that is really cool. It doesn't even necessarily need to be something that's open source or flashable. Take a look at Akara, for example. One thing they do really well is they make great quality products at a great price. They generally allow most of their devices to work with the internet blocked, and they actually listen to community feedback and improve the next version of their products. Or there is SwitchBot, who documents an API you can use for pretty much all of their devices, along with unique retrofit devices that you don't really see anywhere else. And there is definitely more companies out there making some cool and unique products. So I don't want to diminish the Shelly Blu here, as it is a great little device. It's probably one of the easiest devices I've ever set up with Home Assistant. Super simple, really responsive so far, and versatile with its single, double, triple, and long presses. So check it out with the link below if you want to. But what's actually important about the Shelly Blu is that it's a reminder to support companies and brands who do good things, make cool stuff, and who actually want to see the smart home progress. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you find it at least somewhat useful. Please make sure to drop this video a like and get subscribed if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. I am going to bed. It's way past my bedtime. It's 3:40 a.m. Way past my bedtime. Bye.